You know, businesses are moving millions, maybe billions of dollars around every single day, and it can seem incredibly complicated. But what if I told you there's a secret code, a kind of universal language they use to track every single penny? Well, today we're going to crack that code together. Okay, so take a look at this number, 141201. At first glance, it just looks random, right? Maybe a zip code, some kind of product ID. But in the world of business, this number tells a very, very specific story. It's a piece of a puzzle, and we're about to solve it. See, that's the thing. It's not just a random number. It's a label. Think of it like a super precise financial address that tells you exactly where money came from, where it went, and what it was for. And the key to unlocking it all is a really brilliant organizational tool. And that tool is called the chart of accounts, or, CoA for short. And what it does is actually pretty simple. The chart of accounts is basically the company's master filing system for money. It assigns a unique number to every single type of transaction, giving every dollar its own set of GPS coordinates. All right, so how do you actually read these coordinates? Where do you even start? Well, the secret, the key to the whole thing, starts with just one number, that very first digit. This single digit is, believe it or not, the most powerful part of the entire code. And here's why that first digit is such a big deal. It instantly sorts every transaction into one of three major buckets. So if a code starts with a 1 or a 2, boom, it's an asset. That's stuff the company owns. If it starts with a 3, 4, or 5, it's a liability or equity. That's what the company owes or the owner's investment. And if it starts with anything from 6 through 9, it has to do with net income, basically money coming in or going out. Okay, so let's go back to our mystery number, 141201. It starts with a 1, right? So right away, we've cracked the first piece of the puzzle. We know it has something to do with something the company owns. It's an asset. But what kind of asset? Well, that's where the rest of the digits come in. Each number from here on out is like zooming in on our financial map, adding another layer of detail, getting more and more specific. Let me show you how it works. So we start here, high level. The number 1 tells us we're looking at an asset. Simple. Okay, now let's zoom in one level. We add the 4. That 4 tells us what kind of asset it is. In this system, 1 to 4, that means we're talking about the company's inventories, all the products and materials they have on hand to sell. Let's get even more specific. We add another 1. Now, we're not just talking about any old inventory. We're looking at stock in transit. This is stuff the company has already bought, but it's not in the warehouse yet. It's on a boat, a plane, you name it, making its way to them. And we can get even more granular. Let's add the 2. This pinpoints a very specific cost tied to that stuff in transit, an import-seaport cost. So now we know it's coming in by ship, and this is a specific cost tied to that arrival. See how that picture just keeps getting sharper and sharper with every digit? Okay, so we followed this trail of numbers from this big, broad category all the way down to the nitty-gritty. It's time. Let's put it all together and see the full story this number has been waiting to tell us. And here it is, the whole story. 141201 stands for Customs Duty, sometimes called a bayon. It's the very specific tax a company paid at a seaport for goods they've imported that are still on their way to be added to their inventory. Wow. I mean, all of that detail packed into just 6 little numbers? It's pretty incredible. So just like that, what started as a totally meaningless string of numbers has become a crystal clear financial story. That is the magic of a good chart of accounts. It takes what could be chaos and just makes it make sense. And, this whole idea of turning chaos into clarity, that's not a side effect. That's the entire point. The whole reason for this system is, and I'm quoting here, to make it easy to understand and check accounting entries. It's all about making things simple and clear. But it's more than just being neat and tidy, right? This system is literally the backbone of good financial management for a company. So let's quickly break down why it works so well. First off, you get that clear tree-like structure we just walked through, right? Everything has its place. That makes checking and auditing way, way simpler. It also lets you do super detailed financial reports. A manager can look at the 10,000-foot view or zoom all the way down to one tiny fee. And maybe most important, it makes really complex financial info easy to grasp at a glance. And that's absolutely critical for making smart business decisions. You know, when you boil it all down, a system like this isn't really just for giant corporations. It's a way of thinking. It's a method for bringing order to financial chaos. It proves that every single dollar has a story to tell. You just need the key to unlock it. So that leaves me with one last thought for you. Now that you can read the story in these numbers, what financial story is your own life telling?